should talk about AU. See, when I was speaking of Paul, he had me to write the A and the U in big letters. I went looking for AU, after my entities was gone. I went looking for the AU, but I could not find it. So when he said it, I had to go back. Did he say AU? It isn't Paul. As I said, Paul is all of the so-called black man, melanated man. It is the melanated man here, there, anywhere. Paul represents us all. The P is for Pope, because now we are people, all the people who belong to Pope. I saw it. I saw it because I needed to know it. African unity. And what? In Carol. In some ways, there is the CIA, and it's messed up because it goes for us too, because my granny, she lived in Carol. And that is so funny. On commercials 3. Wow. Okay. So let me get back to him. I just wanted to know what the AU was, because he said to make the AU big, when they get ready to do the title, make the AU big. And they did. And he did not come for me to ask him that. And then when he came back, I forgot. So I guess he just told me now. You know how many times I heard this and did not hear you? Maybe that's why he did not tell me. Sometimes I don't hear everything. That's why I watch things more than once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. But not a TV. There are people who wake up, they will watch the same movie over and over and over. Didn't know it was a program. They program you to watch it over and over and over. Do you think they are programming me to watch my brothers who they are brutally murdered over and over and over? Am I programmed to do that?
And that one was the only one in existence at that time. And then during the summer, when I went back to Africa, I was able to, in each country that I visited, get the Afro-American community together and organize them and make them aware of their responsibility to those of us who are still here in the lion's den.
Still here in the lion's den. Wow, we talked about that too. I guess we did because of the video,
They began to do this quite well. And when I got to Paris and London, there are many Afro-Americans in Paris and many in London. And in November, we organized a group in Paris. And just within a very short time, they had grown to a well-organized unit. And they
You noticed he said unit, not unity. The pink man gave us unity. We are only to be a unit. When you have unit, you don't need the Y at the end. The unit is already what it is. It is a unit 1. It can be 144,000 and some more still. It is 1 unit. When you start going into unity, that's when the pink man wants to get in on it, And then unity doesn't work. So many people, unity, that shit false. Because unity is a neuro-linguistic programmer. It is only a unit, meaning 1. And In Touch says that when you have 1, there's peace. And when you have 2, there goes the evil. British and the United States. Yeah, I can get my name out of Britain, and the BR is for the name that Hiram Abib brought down with him, Barua. Barua means serious-minded. When my Abba gave me the name Barua, I didn't like how it sounded, but of course I am coming from a neuro-linguistic programming. I'm coming from the United States. I already knew, before even my Abba came, I knew I was the Queen of England. I knew that. Just by the way my name, and it runs into Britain and all other kind of things. And then when my work came and gave me Barua, I knew what the R was for, although I would only use the R for ruler. But now we have Barua. I am serious minded, and I'm serious about me being the true queen of Britain. She is not. She cannot get her name out of the name Britain. And then there is a land that actually has my name on it, Bettina. My name, Bitina. They do not show you that either, huh? So I know who I am, and I am that I am, and you, no one else, I don't give a fuck who you are. No one else can tell me that I am not the true queen of England, Britain, or whatever, Europe over there. I am the true queen. I am only one true queen. There's more than one. I mean, not to rule over anyone but myself, you know? I don't have any children anymore, and they've taken away my grandbabies, and the ones they left in my life, I don't even want to try to rule over them. Their attitude is so bad, I'll be sent to prison. Although one, she is really working hard on her attitude, and I do praise her for that, and she knows I do. Because I know the attitude is the handler. Stressing the importance.
Afro-American uniting with the African and working as a coalition, especially in areas which are of mutual benefit to all of us.
So why we cannot do that here? Get together and work as a coalition. Do you know the people here? Do you know how much money there is in recycling? And I'm not talking about just taking a bottle in. You take the shit that these motherfuckers, everybody throwing the trash. I see shit going in the trash into me. Oh, sometimes it just really, really hurts my spirit to see certain things, especially nice boxes or anything, almost anything, you know. Sometimes they have this cardboard and the paper, you know, the color of the cardboard is like, don't you know you can use that for a wall? Wow. They don't want to. And some people say, you know, they want to buy their shit from the store. So buy your shit from the store. Buy your shit from the chain motherfuckers. The Chinese man. The China. Buy it from China. Everything is China. Why is everything China now today? CIA. That's why. Chai. C-H-I. Fucking with your Chai. And where was he at? He was in Chicago. Taking on the car and the car won't go. That's why they call that bitch Chicago. Now I know who the ticket is on the car, and now I know why the car won't go.
And the governments in these different places were frightened because they know that the black revolution is taking place on the outside.
There's black again, the black revolution. Can you have a revolution when you do not know your history? Can you actually have a revolution when your history, the memory of your history is someone else's memory? Can you have a revolution when the memory of your history is your enemy's memory? It is not yours. No, see, all of our history, especially what we learned in school, they made that shit up. They twisted and turned it to keep us tricked, you know, to keep us under hypnosis and neurolinguistic programming. House, United States, or us.
Colonialism or imperialism, as the slave system of the West is called, is not something that's just confined to England or France or the United States, but the interests in this country are in cahoots with the interests in France and the interests in Britain, and so it's one huge complex or combine, and it creates what's known as not the American power structure or the French power structure, but it's an international power structure. And this international power structure is used to suppress the masses of dark-skinned people all over the world.
Suppress, not depress, suppress, like oppress.
So that the era in which you and I have been living during the past 10 years, most specifically, has witnessed the upsurge on the part of the black man in Africa against the power structure. He wants his freedom. And now, mind you, the power structure is international. And
yes.
As such, its own domestic bases in London and Paris and Washington, D.C., and so forth. And the outside or external structure.
The reason why? The reason why the black man who is on the inside of that structure, because we are not black men or females. We're not black. And as long as you remain black, you will lack the knowledge of who you be. As long as you remain black. The pink man gave us all of our nationalities, and black is not a nationality. There's no black man. There's no black language. And now they say, oh, her name is Ghetto. You know, she had a ghetto name. It's not a black name. It is a ghetto name. So we didn't even live in the ghetto. The pink man lived in the ghetto. You know, like get to your own motherfucking place, nigga. Time to come over here and be Goshen with us. So now they have taken the name Goshen, and when you see it in their movies or on TV, pink people live in Goshen. I was like, well, I saw that long time ago in soap opera or something, and they mentioned the name Goshen, and it was pink people living in Goshen. I said, well, I be damned.
And I hope you understand what I'm trying to say.
I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Newly awakened people all over the world.
Newly awakened.
For what's known as Western interests, which is imperialism, colonialism, racism, and all these other negative isms or vulturistic isms.
Vulturistic.
Just as the external forces pose a grave threat, they can now see that the internal forces pose an even greater threat. But the internal forces pose an even greater threat only when they have properly analyzed the situation and know what the stakes really are. Just by advocating a coalition of Africans, Afro-Americans, Arabs, Asians, within the structure, it automatically has upset France, which is supposed to be one of the most liberal countries on earth, and it made them expose their hand. England is the same way, and I don't have to tell you about this country that we're living in now. So when you count the number of dark-skinned people in the Western Hemisphere, you can see that there are probably over 100 million. When you consider Brazil as two-thirds what we would call colored or non-white. And
Colored or non-white. See, because that was back in the day.
The Honduras and the Central and other Central American
Black had just came out.
countries, Cuba and Jamaica and the United States and even Canada. When you total all these people up, you have probably over 100 million. And this 100 million on the inside of the power structure today is what is causing a great deal of concern for the power structure itself. Not a great deal of concern for all white people, but a great deal of concern for most white people.
For most of the pink motherfuckers, that's another thing, calling them white people. About that, as I said, well, now allow them to hear me cough again.
I said all white people.
Oh, well, he's not talking about all white people, but he's calling all pink people white, which makes them a hitman. They put a hit on his life. The night before, they put a hit on his life, his whole family, to bomb his house. Bomb him. You hear me? An explosion went off in his house, and the pink motherfucker got away with the spoon. And he calls them white. That gives them power. It really does. To call a Neanderthal non-melanated caveman white is to keep us under their spell. To call us black is to keep us under their spells. If you're going to give them a color, then call them motherfuckers pink. But we should always be called the melanated men, the melanated ones, because that's what we are. There are only two types of people on planet Earth. I say I'm a Hebrew, you know, because we are on earth, and today that's how it goes. Nationality, you know, something that when you meet a person, oh, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, right there, you have a culture. You know what I'm saying? So But to say I'm a Hebrew Israelite, and I am a Moor also, and I am Anunnaki Nuwabian, you know. So, but to say this is to, in a sense of a way, to separate. And there's only one separation there should be. The melanated man on this side, the non-melanated man on that side. And they work together, you know, to form a better place for every man, woman, and child, even those who are not born yet, to have a good child while upon the earth and in my nature's womb.
And they would call me a racist for giving a blanket condemnation of things. And this is true. This is how they do it. They take one little word out of what you say, ignore all the rest, and then begin to magnify it all over the world to make you look like what you actually are. And I'm very used to that.
I'm very used to that too. I'm delusional and other things, so I don't give a fuck. All of these are psychiatrists' words anyway, and the psychiatrist, he hates me and he hates children. I used to be a child. He hates my childhood, wanted me to hate my childhood, wanted me to say my parents abused me because they put my ass when I needed it. I'm a better way better person today for getting my ass whooped. People say, oh, but you could be better without it. How do I know that? But I know I'm a better person. From Jenkins and Frankie J, beating my ass. Beating the devil out of my ass. Put it that way. Sometimes the devil is hard to beat out. All this clapping gets on my nerves.
So we saw that the first thing to do was to unite our people, not only unite us internally, but we
unite
to unite
again.
our brothers and sisters abroad. And it was for that purpose that I spent 5 months in the Middle East and Africa during the summer. And the trip was very enlightening, inspiring, and fruitful. I didn't go into any African country or any country in the Middle East for that matter, and run into any closed door, closed mind, or closed heart. I found a warm reception and amazingly deep interest and sympathy for the black man in this country in regards to our struggle for human rights.
They don't have that sympathy anymore because now they allow the pink man over there and the Nerolinguists in my control just like us, so they hate us the same way. All nations conspired to fuck us up. All nations that are not melanated. They conspired to fuck up the melanated man. 1818.
I had a chance to speak in Cairo, or rather Alexandria, with
Cairo.
Nasser for about
It's Cairo over there, but when it comes here, it's Cairo. Wow. So here we Cairo. It means they have rolled all the caraway in Illinois.
and I can see why they're so afraid of it. And they are afraid of it. They know
They
cut
are.
off their oil. And actually the only thing power respects is power. And whenever you find a man who's in a position to show power against power, then that man is respected. But you can take a man who has power and love him all the rest of your life, and non-violently and forgivingly and all the rest of those all-time things, and you won't get anything out of it. So I have also had a chance to speak to President Nyerere in Tanganyika, which is now Tanzania, and also Kenyatta.
Kenyatta, you hear? Kenyatta. I know a Yatta when I was coming up. Now, there are some girls who are named Kenyatta. You know a motherfucker want to say that's ghetto.
I know that all of you know him. He was the head of the Mau Mau, which really brought freedom to many of the African countries.
So I'm going to stop here and tomorrow we will regain at 15:52. I think I had something I wanted to finish. And I was talking about the giants when it came to the wife. You know, they were here. Were the sons of God who made it with a human woman, you see? They want to say the woman was human. Who made it with a human woman and produced a mutant race of giants. But they are a mutant race. Giants. The etymology of giants already, before I even started the 1300s, is the United States. Man-like creature of enormous size. To tell you the truth, people are an enormous size because they can do what the fuck they want to do and get away with everything. People are scared of them. They are giants. I'm going to go to a different type of giant than this too. And here they tell you different ways of seeing it. It started with a J before, so you know the word is less than 600 years old. So, in a sense of a way, this giant is not like a big tall man that everyone thinks. And from vulgar Latin, which means it must be a nasty word. Gagas, you know? See? Like Lady Gaga, she is a giant, and you do not even know. They are using vulgar Latin to say Gaga. There it is too. Gaga. From Latin, gagas, a giant. So Lady Gaga, she is a giant, and she really is. Unless it could be a man, I don't know. Dallas Goldberg say it is a little girl that they say she was killed by her parents or someone long time ago. I forget what the little girl name was. Ramsey. Her last name is Ramsey or something like that. Now from Greek, gigas, usually in plural, which means it means more than one. Now we get to like gigantus, you know. One of a race of divine but savage and monstrous beings. And that is the Queen of England. That is the Pope. That is Obama. That is Eric Holder. Anyone who is holding us. To everyone, they are divine. And people act like they can't see that they are savage and what monstrous. And there goes United States beings. Personifying, that's what you should look up. They are personifying destructive, targeted individual natural forces. And they are. They do this with chemtrails and GMOs and all other kind of shit. Big ass computers to hook you up with and fuck you up. Now, here's a name. You see that? This is not of them. This will, you study this name, it will take you right back to root. How do I know that? The prophet came to let me know these things. Prophet Noble Drew. Some of Gaia and Uranus. It would be Uranus. United States does that too. You know why? This is a planet. It's a Uranus. Yeah, they got ran the fuck out of this on this planet. They can name it what they want to name it, but they get ran the fuck out. Man, I'll talk about Uranus some other time. The fuck they were doing up there. Uranus. They got ran the fuck out. Eventually destroyed by the gods. The nine heads, although there are more than nine heads, destroyed them because of what they were doing on that planet. When they got to Mars, you know, they were able to put ships together just like they are able to defy gravity to put the satellite in the sky. What goes up must fall down. No, it does not. That goddamn satellite, it stays for a while, you see. So they also learned to put ships together to go here, go there. And this happened before the Great Flood. It even happened before anyone was on the earth. Okay, and they want to talk about giants and shit. This happened even before they were on the earth. The word is of unknown origin, probably from a pre-Greek language. Derivation, which is a derivative, and you see the words that is in there? G-E-N-E. And now we go back into the genes. The earthborn is considered, now here's a con in the ID. They are considered unattainable. Wow, they make themselves like that too. Now here's another language where the B and the P, it looks the same. See, that looks like a B and that looks like a P, like bat for daughter and pat, like the patting experience. And here is time with a Y, not the I. See, they changed that to make a target an individual, which is me, and they fucked up. So it says in pat time, where here none hunts of no man, but of the aunties. There's also the word aunts. And when you are small, you know, sometimes your auntie is smaller than you. But when you have an auntie and you are small, you have an auntie, she is a giant. And here's the word ace. To deal with a race of divine but savage monstrous beings. And the chronicles of it is 1330. See? There's 13 levels to this shit. And there are 13 doors on each level. 13 books, 30 chapters. In replace of Old English, ENT, whatever, I had to hurry up. The Greek word was used in like September to refer to men of great size and strength. Hence, the expanded use in modern language in English of very tall and United States large sons from 1550, and this is the year they became giants to my people when they started coming to do a slave trade of sons who have quality internet technology and extraordinary degrees from 1530 as a class of stars from 1912 as an adjective from early 15th century, giant killer.